My name is Derek Weyrush. I'm the president and CEO of Palladium One Mining. Palladium One is an exploration stage company focused on critical green transportation metals. Please refer to our forward-looking statements. The full version can be found in our corporate presentation located on our website. This presentation is just going to be a brief overview of the company. So what are critical green transportation metals? Well, they're really metals that help deal with environmental concerns from transportation. So in the catalytic converter or your exhaust system of your conventional internal combustion engine, it's heavy loading of palladium and platinum to deal with the noxious emissions. And as we evolve towards the electric vehicle, the demand forecasts are absolutely robust in that significantly more metals are required in an electric vehicle. For example, copper takes about 4 times more loading in a battery electric vehicle than it does in a conventional vehicle. So we're also focused on copper, nickel as well, which has a huge demand profile as well. And fortunately, the type of deposits that we're looking at are typically made up of these various metals. So it's not like we're looking for discrete deposits. We're looking for sulphides that contain this suite of metals, but each deposit will obviously be different in terms of the relative ratios. But they're all critical, whether it be in Europe or in North America, as per the various governments. So our projects, in summary, we have 4 key projects that we are looking at. In Finland, we have the LK project, which is a bulk tonnage disseminated sulphide project where we have approximately 40 million tons in the indicated category and 50 million tons in the inferred category. In total, we have approximately 4.2 million ounces palladium equivalent, or EQ, in that project. And adjoining it in a totally different geological setting is the KS project, which is a very high tenor massive sulphide target with up to 10% nickel, 13% copper, and roughly 3 ounces of precious metals. But I will focus our talk today on the Tyko project in Ontario, Canada, as well as the Canalask project in the Yukon, 2 projects that we currently are working. In Tyko, we have an extremely high tenor massive sulphide deposition with regular intervals of greater than 10% nickel. It's quite frankly a new nickel district. And in the Yukon, we have another nickel project. There is copper there, although not previously reported, where we have a historical resource of around 400,000 tons at 1.3% nickel. So focusing in on Tyko, the real question is, how big could this be? And this table or chart is really just to highlight the scale of Tyko relative to other world-class deposits, whether it's Talnak or Norilsk in Russia, which are absolutely spectacular in size. But even you look at Eagle in northern Michigan, how small that is at the top of the image here, and how often that could fit into a Tyko, or even the Voisey's Bay on the bottom left-hand side of the image. So we are hunting within this 30,000 hectare property package. And to date, we've had multiple discoveries over the last 2 years on this project. So zooming in a little bit and giving you some background geophysics, you can see on the left-hand side of the image, the West Pickle Zone, we have multiple intercepts over 10% nickel plus roughly 3% copper. We have over 6,000 meters drilled into this area and 500 meters of mineralized strike length to date. The deposit is still open, and we are focused on a 5-kilometer corridor going to the east of that property where my mouse is highlighting right now. The initial discovery of the property was at Smoke Lake on the eastern side of the property, where we have multiple intercepts of 8, 10, 11% nickel plus copper. We have roughly 350 meters worth of massive sulphides, another 450 meters of strike length of disseminated or net textured sulphide there, and around 6,800 meters of drilling in total. But just from a scale perspective, the distance between these two hits is 20 kilometers in length. It's extremely large property, and there's a lot of opportunity to find more of the same. Recently, we announced the Ember discovery, a couple kilometers southeast of Smoke Lake. We also have the Shabbatic showing. So there's lots of smoke to make a pun there. With regards to the property, we're focused on our 2023 exploration program currently. And what we're trying to do is really take the property in bite-sized chunks. So we split the property, as you can see on the top right, into 3 grids. The first grid, West Pickle, where we have the discovery, as I'm outlining with my mouse, is the target of a deeper penetrating geophysics program that we are going to be running later this year, extending out towards the east. You can see various grids that are outlined here that represent soil sampling, as well as diamond drilling in this area. The McGill Lake property or area is just a little bit to the east of West Pickle. And again, we have these interpreted conoliths, which are outlined in the purple. We have various grids that have been plotted for soil sampling along those conoliths. And these are what we believe to be the pipes, if you will, or the feeder systems to have fed the large bulldozer intrusion that's sitting on the north side of the property. So to date, this summer, we've probably accumulated several thousand soil samples at this point in time. And we're looking for anomalous values of copper, nickel, cobalt. And history has shown us that when we find mineralization in soils, there tends to be mineralization immediately below. And again, you can see on the bottom right-hand side here, the Smoke Lake area, where we have that roughly 800 meters of strike length, and it remains open, and various collists that we will be testing this year. Our hope is to drill between 8,000 and 10,000 meters this year, and following the integration of the results from the soil sampling with the historic the geophysics that we've run over the last 2 years. Another project we've just launched our summer exploration program is Canalask up in the Yukon. Again, it's a 100% owned project, and it is sitting on this large ultramafic dike, the Kalani-mafic ultramafic dike. There's historical resource here, 400,000 tons, about 1.3% nickel. There are untested VTEM anomalies. It's sitting in the footwall, as well as a footwall deposit that is unexplained, which we will be chasing. So we have crews on site currently that are going to be clearing this 4-kilometer access trail to the property, as well as some drill trails in anticipation of drilling thereafter. So based on the portfolio of assets we've put together, we've got strong institutional support. Earlier this year, Glencore joined the shareholder roster and took a 9.99% interest in the company. Eric Sprott has a little bit over 10% of the company. We're extremely well funded with over $15 million in cash and active exploration programs underway. Should you have any questions, I'd be pleased to take them. You can contact me at info@palladiumoneinc.com.